Welcome to Peacevision. We are a portal for positive change. When was the last time you went out on a sailboat and called it therapy? Well, the woman with me today is going to tell you all about how she uses sailing to overcome a lot of obstacles in life. So please welcome Alder Allensworth for me. Welcome, Alder.
Thank you, John. Great to be here.
Tell me about your experiences in sailing and how did that first come into your life?
My dad taught me to sail when I was 18, and I fell in love with it. And he didn't know what to name his boat, and he had a little accident and broke his hand. And so he decided that he would name his boat Therapy because he would have to tell work, I think I'm going to have therapy today. And he would go out sailing.
Well, right on the money, and he wasn't lying. So
No, he wasn't.
how did this happen for you, though? You've actually brought some people that have major disabilities, and you're kind of a champion for people with disabilities. Why is that?
Well, therapy, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Sailing is one of the major things that got me through the cancer. And
Yeah,
going out,
tell us about your cancer, because if people didn't see our previous blogs, they may not know what happened. Can you quickly tell us what cancer and then get back into our sailing adventure?
sure. I was diagnosed with adenocystic carcinoma of the tear gland, the lacrimal gland, in 1990. And at the time, I was an avid windsurfer, and the anesthesiologist was a windsurfer. And as we were talking before I went into surgery, I said to him, I know we're suggestible when we're under surgery, so I want you to suggest that I get well and healthy and all the cancer's gotten. And he says, well, I know that you're a sailor and I love to windsurf. So I'm going to also suggest that you'll be out there windsurfing and just really enjoying life. And I thought, wow, how cool that a doctor's doing that for me during surgery. And then later I thought, well, won't sailing help other people too? And a whole group of us got together and started a program for people with disabilities to learn to sail. And we even got boats where people, think about Christopher Reeve, for those of you who remember him. All he could move after his accident was his head, and he was on a ventilator. We have a boat that somebody can be put into, strapped into. The ventilator is connected to a waterproof compartment, and they can go out by themselves and steer the boat and sail it with their chin.
That's really incredible. And people are brave enough to do this that are on a ventilator.
Oh yeah, he knows that if that ventilator stops, and we do have a medical team kind of behind him following along in a safety boat, because we're following him. He's leading us.
That's amazing. But there's something very magical about being on the water and feeling the wind, especially on a sailboat where there's no engine. Describe that feeling for people who've never been out sailing. What's it like for you?
Wow. Boy, that's hard to put into words. When that engine is turned off, there is a quietness. There is an at oneness. You're just at one with the water, with the earth, with the sea life. The dolphins are jumping. You hear the birds. There's just no noise. It's just total peace. And you're just weightless. You're just gliding along. It's just the most incredible feeling in the world.
And has to, I would imagine, help with the healing process no matter what state, even if you're just having a stressful day, I would imagine. What is the website? Is that, first of all, is the sailing program still active? And if not, is there a place you can tell people where they may be able to go to get on a sailboat and do this?
The sailing program is active, unfortunately, because of COVID. That's been very restricted lately. And it's called Sailability Greater Tampa Bay. There's also a wonderful program in Miami called Shake a Leg Miami. And if you Google it, sailing for people with disabilities, there's programs all over the world. In fact, the boats we use here in Tampa or Clearwater at Sailability were built by a man in Melbourne, Florida, and they're called access dinghies.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Have you ever gotten into, I know it was, first it was the windsurfing was the big craze, and then came along these kite boards. Have you gotten on a kite board yet?
No, I've done a dry run on land with one. Wow, the power. Oh my gosh. But I do have a friend. She crews for me when I go out and race sailboats, and she's a kite boarder, and she has promised to take me out so I can try it.
Well, maybe I'll have to join you because that looks like a lot of fun. I'm an old
Yeah.
windsurfer as well, but I haven't tried the kite. Tell me about your sailing adventures. Weren't you the first woman to sail with an all-female crew from Mexico, or am I getting that wrong?
You're getting it, it's real close.
Okay,
There,
90% passing grade.
exactly.
Let the facts get in the way of a good story here at Peacevision. Tell me the real truth.
um, there is a race from St. Pete Yacht Club to Isla Mujeres, Mexico, the Regata Sol a Sol, and it is sailed every, I think it's May. You end up in Mexico right around Cinco de Mayo. And I was part of the first all-women crew, Team Hexie, to race from St. Petersburg, Florida to Isla Mujeres, Mexico.
Awesome. Fantastic. That must have been quite an experience for you.
Oh, incredible. It was in 1995, and it takes about 4 days. So you never get into the real sleeping pattern. And we were doing 4 days on and 4 days off. And well, you've probably not been in a group of women, but I'm guessing it's similar with a group of guys. We played pranks on each other. We laughed. We just had a wonderful time, and we raced hard.
Awesome. And that's a good metaphor for life. So, last thing I want, people may have not seen a previous episode that we had you on. Can you tell us about that book you have available for people coping with cancer and some personal tips that you've given? Can you tell me about that again to our audience?
Okay, but if you don't mind, I want to tell you about the first book, which I haven't
Yes, please
mentioned
do.
yet.
Please do.
The first book is called Prevail, Celebrate the Journey, and it's about a sail that I took from St. Petersburg, Florida to Morehead City, North Carolina, solo in a 12-foot boat to raise money and awareness for sailors with disabilities. And that's the first book. And the second book continues the theme of Celebrate the Journey, Self-Care Cancer, and the things that you can do to stack the deck in your favor to live the best life you can despite disease.
Alder, thank you so much for all you've done for so many people. It's selfless of you. You went through something horrific, but you made something positive come out of it, and you're sharing your knowledge, your insight with the rest of us here on Peacevision. We're forever grateful. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me with you, John.